Welcome back to the Blue, Albertson Stadium, home of your Boise State Broncos, the bastion of Bronco Nation, a field of dreams where greatness has become a tradition. Whether you're new to Idaho and this is your first game, or your family has had season tickets for 3 generations, Lithia Ford of Boise wants you to know you're welcome here.
Hey, what's up, Boise State fans? We are live at the Matadome in Northridge, California. BJ Rains, Abe Jackson. You'll be hearing Abe shortly on the call on the radio. Abe, what do you make of this place? Certainly a unique venue for basketball.
It's one of the smaller venues, I think, but it's really nice. You can see behind us there's some bleachers. It's kind of like a high school, but it's really well done, I think. It would be a really good environment if it got packed out.
Which it's not going to tonight.
I don't think it will.
They're expecting about 300 or so fans tonight. Boise State's on the court warming up here. This is the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. We only got Abe for a couple minutes as he gets ready for his broadcast. But Abe, what's a couple big issues with this team? I guess we'll start with the free throws. Literally dead last in the nation, 350th out of 350 qualifying teams, 55.6% from the free throw line. You're a former player here. You were a good free throw shooter. What is going on with this team? Because they've got guys that you think wouldn't be 55% from the line.
Well, they're better shooters than this. I mean, they really are. And a lot of times when it comes to free throws, it can be almost more mental than it is actually being good at shooting free throws. So I think this team is going to, start ticking up in that free throw department because they are just a much better shooting team from the line than what they've shown. They're on an extremely cold streak from the line.
What, is it just mental, or is it just guys not being good enough? I mean, it can't get any worse, obviously, but I mean, you guys like Abu Kijab, you don't expect to be going, 5 for 11 or something in some of these games.
Well, here's the thing. It's that you got guys that last year shot probably 15 to 20% better. And so they shot hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of free throws from last year to this year. So they didn't get worse. I know the numbers say they're worse, but physically they're not worse free throw shooter than they were last year, as in your example in Kijab. I think they're just in a slump right now from the line. And a lot of it, I think, is mental. You see a couple of them go in, and then I think they're be able to turn it around.
The turnovers in the last game, 24 of them. Leon said, hey, that's not something we usually do. He didn't make it as to be a big deal, but, you almost 24 turnovers almost cost him that game. What did you see from the turnovers? Is that an issue for this team?
I don't think so. I don't think it's an issue. Coach Rice barely brings up turnovers when we talk to him at all about any game before a game, and I think it's because this team does such a good job of taking care of the ball. And so when you have one game with a lot of turnovers, you can credit that some to Tulsa. They had a lot of pressure out top at the free throw line that Boise State hadn't seen this year. And so like Coach Rice says, you can talk about it, but until you're out there playing against it, it's a different story. But one game, a lot of turnovers, no, I still don't think it's an issue for this team.
Abe Jackson, our guest, you'll see him, or you'll hear him on the call here coming up at the bottom of the hour for the pregame show. 670 on the AM side, right? Is it 93.1 FM on the FM side? Abe Jackson, Bob Beeler, they're right across the stage from us here. A very unique venue, as we talked about opening the show up, the Matadome. Boise State's 4-4, Abe. Obviously, not the record they would want at this point. A couple pretty good wins, a couple, at least one really bad loss. Where is this team overall for you right now?
Well, I think defense, they are ahead of what I would think. And I think offense, they're behind what I would think. So, you could say those things even themselves out, but the offense is really where this team needs to improve and get more consistent. But the defense, I mean, they're putting up some defensive numbers that haven't been seen around Boise State in a very, very long time. So if they can fix some things on offense, their defense is going to keep them in just about every single game they play.
How important is that, especially on the road? They say defense always travels.
Oh, it's fantastic, and you love having good defense in your back pocket too, because like we've seen with this offense, that they can struggle at times, and it's still really early in the season, only 8 games in, but. If your offense is struggling, your defense is what can keep you in the game. You can shoot a low percentage and still come out with a win.
A lot of fans obviously are a little up and down with this team, a little disappointed. What would you say to the fans that are a little disappointed at 4-4? What would be the reason for optimism about that this team can turn it around?
And I just think they're better than their record. I really do. They have a lot of experience, and I think that some of the games that they lost, 2 in particular that I can think of, I don't know. I think they just had really bad offensive performances. They really did, either shooting the ball from 3 or from the free throw line. And like we just talked about a little earlier, this is a much better team than what those percentages are showing.
Tell us about tonight's opponent, CSUN. What do we know about the Matadors? What do Boise State need to do to get the win tonight?
Well, they're going through some turbulent times. Their entire coaching staff got put on administrative leave. They brought in Trent Johnson, a familiar name to Boise State fans who played at Boise State back in the 70s, I believe. So this is a team. It's one of those games that sometimes you play a team and you say, okay, what do they do that we need to beat? Or you play some teams that say, this is just about us. This is a game that's about Boise State and them executing. They play well. They should definitely come out of here with a win.
I guess final thing, Abe, just weird venue, weird opponent, weird, I don't want to say trap game, but I mean, this is a game, like you said, that Boise State needs to come in, play well, and win. It's about Boise State, like you're saying. What do you want to see from them? That business-like approach, just that focus? I mean, what in particular do you want to see to them accomplish tonight, maybe other than just get the W?
Getting the W, of course, is the main thing, but I'd like to see that defense. That defense is exciting for me to watch. I played in an era where it was heavy defense at Boise State, but then also I'm going to be keeping track of the percentages from the three-point line and also from the free throw line. Hopefully they can get those things ticking up a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing a high 30% as a team from three. And, boy, it'd be real nice to get into the 70s from the free throw line.
Hey, appreciate your time, man. Always a pleasure. We'll be listening, you and Bob. Hopefully it's a good, easy broadcast. Nice. Hopefully you're looking for stuff to talk about late in the second half. Bottom of the hour, pregame, top of the hour, 670 on the AM side, KTIK 93.1 FM on the third FM on the FM side. Thank you, Abe.
Cool. Thanks, man.
There he is, Abe Jackson. Go over there when I'm done and get your radio on and listen to the pregame show. Again, Abe Jackson will be on the call. We're going to try to show you some warm-ups here. We'll see if I can do this. Give me a second here, and I'll try to set up the camera here for warm-ups. 1 second. All right, let's see if we can make this work here. Let's add this to the stream. Let's go full screen, but let's get the warm-ups bigger here. We're going to mute the mic. Here's Boise State warming up on the court behind me, as you can see. Boise State and CSUN getting set to go at the top of the hour. Let us know if you got a question or a comment on this one. Really unique venue, as you can see. Boise State's warming up right there. It's only got about 2,500 seats. Not expecting it to be close to that in terms of the crowd tonight. So if you got a question or a comment, you want to get out your let us know where you're watching the game from. Andy Hill with the big Go Broncos. Appreciate it, Andy. We got Douglas watching too. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. Where are you going to be watching the game from? Let us know. Boise State and CSUN. The game will be on ESPN Plus at the top of the hour. And we appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise for sponsoring the BroncoNationNews.com pregame show. Lithia Ford and Boise, the official car and truck of the Boise State Broncos. Check out their contest. They're giving away a trip for two to the football bowl game. Check that out if you want to go to the football bowl game. Lithia Ford of Boise and associated with Boise State will send you to the bowl game, the Arizona Bowl. There's Marcus Shaver warming up from deep. I know Boise State fans would like to see a lot of that tonight from Marcus Shaver. This is a really unique, interesting game for Boise State. It's kind of a sneaky trap game for Boise State, to be honest with you. They're big favorites. It's a game they should win by a lot of points, and there's not going to be much of a crowd as some of the players are making their way off the floor here at the Matadome, getting ready for tip-off here for this one. There's Mr. Barsh. We got David Moats putting the balls back on the ball rack. There he is. David Moats is ready to go. The best in the business right here. Alexis Williams, the staff getting ready for tip-off here. It's going to be an interesting game, folks. Boise State certainly needs to find a way to win this one. Let us know where you're watching from. If you got a question or a comment, feel free to let us know where you're watching this one from. Flew down this morning. Happy to be here. Had to come straight here. A little bit of a delayed flight. Traffic in LA isn't easy either, but we are here and we're ready for some basketball. Boise State and CSUN going to get it going at the top of the hour. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus for this one. Going to be a contrast of styles in this one. The Matadors are 3-4. They do struggle to score at times. They only scored, I think, 43 points in their last game at Fresno State on Saturday. So CSUN certainly They're coached by Trent Johnson, the former Boise State player. If you guys remember Trent Johnson from back in the day, kind of a cool story with him. Finished his Boise State career 1,115 points, 702 rebounds. It still ranks in the top 20 for both. Rebounds is actually 5th all time for the rebounds at Boise State. So certainly cool to have Trent Johnson. He's the interim coach. Mark Gottfried had some issues, so the interim coach is Trent Johnson, and it'll be cool to have him back. Remember, he led Boise State to their first NCAA tournament appearance, 1976, the Big Sky Tournament Championship. Boise State went to the Big Dance in 1976. Trent Johnson was a member of Boise State's roster, so went on to coach at Nevada, Stanford, LSU, TCU, took multiple teams to the Sweet 16, so pretty cool. And Chad chiming in, looks like a high school gym. It is a college gym, but it is not the largest college gym. We'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. Let me go ahead and put that back on the screen here so you can see what we're dealing with. This is the gym here at CSUN, the Matadome as they call it. There are more seats behind me. On the other side, there are more seats behind me. As you can see, there's a second layer, but only one layer over on that side, one row of seats. And we will, it's a very unique setup here. The officials tonight, Vern Harris is the lead official. Deldry Carr and Kevin Brill also are on the staff. Vern Harris is the lead official. You'll recognize him when you see him. Chad asking how many folks does it hold? Another question here. It holds about 2,500, but I'm told they're only going to have about 300 tonight. So it holds about 2,500 and probably only looking at about 300 or so Boise State fans here for this one tonight. So again, rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. Appreciate their support of this venture. BroncoNationNews.com, Lithia, Florida, Boise, the BroncoNationNews.com pregame show. And having fun with this, and I should say on postgame, we're going to have Coach Leon Rice live and multiple players live as well. So as soon as the game ends, come on back to the BroncoNationNews.com, Lithia, Florida, Boise postgame show, and we will have Coach Leon Rice and players live here from courtside at the Matadome at CSUN. So this is the place to come post-game. Bob and Abe will be on the call, and then you can come on over here, and we'll have players, we'll have coaches, we'll have it's going to be fun. Really looking forward to this, and appreciate, again, our sponsors. Appreciate you guys. Trying to turn off the names here. We don't need to have both names, my name on both things here. I'll see if I can figure out how to do this. There it is. But Boise State's inside, as you can see, in the locker room. Nobody warming up on the court right now. But this is it, the Matadome. Boise State getting ready to play CSUN. The game will be at the top of the hour. Again, thanks to Lithia, Florida, Boise. Thanks to you. A couple keys for this one. Boise State has got to shoot free throws better. As we said earlier, 12 of 26 a couple of games ago, 8 of 16 last game. Boise State literally right now is dead last in the nation, the lowest free throw shooting team in the nation at 55.6%. So Boise State has to find a way to shoot better from the foul line. It's just very imperative. It's a must tonight for Boise State. They have to shoot better from the foul line if they're going to have a chance to win this game. And they have to take care of the ball as well. 24 turnovers in their last game. That's just not something Boise State can do, is turn the ball over. 24 turnovers, and they still won somehow. They got lucky, but that's not something you can expect to happen a lot of times. So Boise State, again, take care of the ball, make your free throws. It sounds fairly easy, but it is that easy for Boise State. You got to find a way to shoot better from the line. Don't turn the ball over, and you should be able to get out of here with a win. But you need your best players to play their best. This is game 2 without Devonair Dutrieve, so you want to see what that lineup looks like with Tyson Degenhart and everybody in the lineup. So it's going to be an interesting game for Boise State. Small gym, small crowd. They got to create their own energy, as they say, and will be very interesting to see what Boise State can do tonight in this one. And again, post-game, we will have Leon Rice and players live on the Lithia, Florida, Boise post-game show. So appreciate you guys for checking this out. Tip-off, top of the hour over on ESPN+. And this is the setup for you here at the Matadome. And again, 8 o'clock Mountain Time, ESPN Plus will be the broadcast. We'll be back live on the post-game show with Leon Rice and players. So hope you guys like this. Something new that we're trying out with the pregame and post-game show here. So hopefully you're liking kind of a look at what the arena's like. You're getting a feel of what's going on in the arena, which is not much right now. We're 32 minutes from tip-off, and this place is pretty empty. So they're not expecting too many fans. I've got a courtside seat here right where you can see at the camera about center court. So we'll have plenty of coverage throughout the day, throughout the evening, and after the game, of course, as well. So hopefully you are following all the Bronco Nation News social media channels. We'll be doing this for every game for the rest of the season. Every game, home and road, we'll have the pregame show and the postgame show. So appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise for making this possible, rowpaint.com, all of our other great sponsors that we'll be telling you about, the Blue and Orange Store, TCS Transportation Compliance Service, Boise Dentistry Co., United Commercial Insurance, Matt Bauscher Real Estate, a lot of great sponsors that have helped us get to this point. And so we appreciate all of you for watching this and checking it out. We got a comment here. Let us know where you're watching from. This is great. You're awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. No, that is not my one of my parents. Appreciate you for jumping on here. And we'll keep it going if we got some comments and some questions. I'm not in a hurry to end this thing, but no one's on the court. Nothing's really happening quite yet. But if you got a question or a comment, let us know where you're watching the game from tonight. Get it on the screen, and we'll give you a shout out here where you are watching the game from tonight. But yeah, no, we're going to try to make this a regular thing and give you the sights and sounds before the game, after the game, and kind of let you know what it looks like, at the game and for these games. And this is the Dome here at CSUN, Cal State Northridge. Watching from Montana. How about that? There you go. Appreciate that. Appreciate you for watching from Montana. ESPN Plus will be the broadcast at the top of the hour. But excited about this one. We got some new equipment. Hopefully the sound is okay over there on the broadcast. New mics we're going to be testing out tonight post-game. Here we go. Another question from Dayton rolling in. Idaho Falls. Appreciate you, Dayton, for checking in. Where does this venue rank on the most unique venues you've been to in your travels? This is certainly up there. This may not be the 360. What they call that thing in Phoenix? Something 360 where Boise State played a game. When was that? Against San Jose State in Phoenix. Ability 360, I believe, is what it was called. I didn't make that trip. That probably would have been number one, but this is certainly up there. The court is very bright. The lights are very bright, and it's just a pretty small venue. Been to some big ones, and it's very unique. No seats on the ends, as you can see. Both of the ends are exactly the same. There's no seats there. As you can see, there's nothing there. And then there's what it looks like on that end as well. So not much to see at that end. And then it's kind of like a high school gym where there's the first level of like 20 rows, and then there's the second level of seats that pull out. We'll see if we can pan this back a little bit and show you what I'm talking about up there. It's it really does remind me of like a nice high school gym, like College of Idaho. This is very similar to College of Idaho gym, except redone with some nicer lights and maybe some nicer seats. But it's nothing special for sure. Zach's chiming in. Is it normal for us to play in an arena this small? Seems like the kind of thing that should be a home game for us. This was a home and home. I'm not sure why this was a home and home, but Boise State did agree to a home and home. Here comes some more Boise State players taking the court. Here come the Broncos taking the court for this one. We'll get you some footage of Boise State taking the court. And it was a home and home from 2 years ago. 2 years ago, CSUN came to Boise, and actually, if you remember right, that was a game in which Abu Kijab had 33 points, a career-high 33 points for Abu Kijab in that one. And Boise State won the game pretty big, and this was the return game from that, where they were supposed to come last year, but you had the pandemic, and now they're obviously coming here now for this one. But yeah, it is a little bit unique, and it is a little odd, really, to wonder why. Here's assistant coach Mike Burns. Assistant coach Mike Burns getting them ready for action tonight. Let's see what comments, questions we got. Raleigh, that's pretty cool. Zach Ball watching the game from Raleigh. Any fans near here? Watch parties. If anybody's watching from Raleigh, hit up Zach, and he'd be happy to watch the game with you. We're about 28 minutes from tip-off. The game will be on ESPN Plus, Boise State and CSUN. We are here at the Matadome. And hopefully you're enjoying this pregame coverage. Hopefully, if you're not a subscriber, you will consider subscribing. $70 gets you the whole year, or you can pay $6.99 a month. Help us be able to make these trips, do these things. We're funding all of this ourselves, so hopefully you will give us a shot as CSUN now takes the court as well. Both teams on the court for warm-ups now as they pipe in the fight song for CSUN. But don't forget post-game, if you're just joining us, post-game, you'll have a Coach Rice and some players joining us live right here on the post-game show. So join us post-game if you would like, and if you can, right after the game, just fire it up. Vicky says, thank you, BJ. Appreciate it, Vicky. This is having fun, and we're going to get better each game we do this. We added in the second camera tonight. We're still trying to figure this out. Jake Forsyth, great job on the best Bronco coverage. Let's make some free throws. I think Jake might be worried about that 13.5 tonight. We'll have to see there. Watching from Iowa. Appreciate that. Thank you, Seamus. Watching from Iowa. So we got North Carolina. We got Iowa. We got Bronco fans all over the globe watching tonight. So this is pretty cool. And, again, this is a interesting game for Boise State. It's a game where they're 13-point favorites. It's a game they should win rather easily. But if you look at the uniqueness of the court, uniqueness of the, game and what's going on here, this is certainly not a standard game for Boise State, if that makes any sense. This is just one of those unique games, where you got to just show up and play and hopefully get a win. But obviously it's not it's certainly not a normal environment for a game. No seats on the ends. There's only going to be about 300 fans at this game. David asking if I'm going to the football bowl game. Yes, I am. And that's going to be fun because I'm going to Hawaii for Christmas with my family, flying to the bowl game in Arizona, and then flying back to Hawaii to finish my vacation. So I don't love flying, and I'll get to go over the ocean 4 times in a span of like 8 days. That's going to be awesome. Don't know much about CSUN. Which players should we be watching for on the Matadors? They got a couple transfers that they added in this year. We'll take a look at their roster here. Elijah Hardy from Portland State. They've got Miles Brookins from LaSalle. Christian Gray, Fresno State. Northern Illinois transfer Darius Bean. They lost the first 3 games of the season to USC, Notre Dame, and Eastern Washington. Came back and beat Dixie State, St. Catherine, and San Diego, and then just lost 61-43 to Fresno State on Saturday the 4th. So they're coming off a loss to Fresno State. Boise State, meanwhile, is coming off the win over Tulsa. 4.7 points per game, 9 different Matadors. How about this? 9 different Matadors averaging over 4.7 points per game. Aiton Wright, 10.2 is the leading scorer. Aiton Wright, 10.2, and he is number, let's see if we can find it here. Number 4 is their leading scorer, so keep an eye out for him. We had a funny question here that I don't know if this is sarcasm or not. Did I miss the announcement on the referees? You did, but I'll bring it back for you. The lead official is Vern Harris. Vern Harris is the lead official. Deldry Carr and Kevin Brill, all 3 referees you'll probably recognize. Vern Harris is the referee, if anybody remembers from the game at Colorado State a couple years ago, the Clockgate game where they screwed up the clock. And Boise State got gypped out of a win when a 3-pointer was counted as late when it should have gone in by James Webb III. One of those referees was Vern Harris. Vern Harris does the Final Four. I think he's done the national championship game. He's one of the best refs in the business, so he will be the lead official at this game tonight. So you got a good refereeing crew, and you got a unique setup here for this one. As if you're just joining us, only about 300 fans expected for this one. 300 fans at the Matadome, and there's no seats on the end. Only seats behind the sides, and there's not a lot of them too. So it's a very unique setup for basketball, and certainly we're going to be finding out pretty soon. If Boise State can push past the environment, push past the distractions and things like that, and find a way to play basketball and get it done and get the win. So it's going to be a very unique game. Appreciate everybody for checking this out. Thank you to Lithia, Florida, Boise. The CSUN KenPom ranking, it's not very good. It's like 240. They're in the 200s in KenPom, 240 I believe it is. So this is a game that Boise State, I think, is favored to win by 13. I think KenPom had it at like 11. So, frankly, Boise State should win this game by double digits. This is a game where they need to come in, take care of business. If you want to do some things and you're Boise State and you have goals and things you want to do this year, this is a game, if you're Boise State, that you have to come in and play well and win, fairly easily. So we'll see Marcus Shaver Jr. He's my click to pick tonight. I want to see Marcus Shaver Jr. I want to see the ball in his hands. I want to see him continue to kind of take control of this offense and lead things. And I just want to see this offense continue to gel. Devonair Dutrieve no longer on the roster. you've got the rest of the guys starting to find their roles, and this team's trying to find themselves moving forward. So I think that this is a chance for you again, a chance for you with not much of a crowd, a game you're favored to win. Try to figure some things out. And again, as I said earlier in the show, if you're just joining us, you got to make your free throws. Boise State dead last, 350th out of 350 teams, dead last in the country shooting free throws. So you got to make your free throws. Zachary Ball asking about the Ken Palm for Bakersfield. It was around the same as what the CSUN one is, and I'm sorry I don't have it on me, but they're similar. They're in the mid 200s. So this is certainly a game that is similar from that standpoint. So you got to find a way to win it. Okay, I mentioned make your free throws. You can't turn the ball over either. Boise State had 24 turnovers in that game against Tulsa the other night. They still won, but you're not going to win too many games with 24 turnovers. So Boise State's got to take care of the ball, make your free throws, and just stay focused. There's not going to be a crowd, not going to be an atmosphere. Just focus on the game and try to get it done. So as you can see, there's literally like 3 people here. Here's 2 Boise State fans sitting behind me. There they are. There's 2 Boise State fans, 1 other guy. I mean, you would think this was a 8 a.m. tournament game in some random city. You'd think this was like the first game of the Charleston Classic, and nobody made it at 8 a.m. on a Sunday. I mean, there is nobody here. There's 3 people right there. I can literally count in the stands how many people are here. We're probably at about 25 or so, and we are 20 minutes from tip-off. So, going to be one of those games where Boise State's going to have to do it themselves. Bring your energy. Don't get there is a band. The band's coming in. So we'll have a band at least. That's going to be fun here. And again, on the post-game show, if you're joining us just now, the post-game show, we'll have Coach Leon Rice and some players live interviews with Coach Leon Rice and some players here on the Florida Boise post-game show. My wife chiming in sarcastically, if I can get it to play here. It looks like Allen Fieldhouse. Not quite Allen Fieldhouse. But it's the Matadome. It's a historic venue here, home of the Matadors, as you can see, Northridge, California. So appreciate everybody for checking this out. If you want to let us know where you're watching the game from, we can keep this going a little bit longer. If not, we'll end it. But Lithia Florida pregame show, rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We get you set for Boise State and CSUN. There's Tyson Degenhart, Burke Smith getting ready, Marcus Shaver. They look pretty focused. These guys look like they're pretty focused, pretty determined. Max Rice, is tonight the night that Max Rice connects from downtown and hits a 3. He's 0 for 8 from three-point range on the season. So maybe tonight's the night that Max Rice gets on board for a three-pointer. So we'll see. Should be a fun game. Here come the referees. I know you guys are all worried about the referees. There's Vern Harris. He's the shorter guy there. We will have a game tonight. The referees have made their appearance here. So appreciate you guys for checking this out. It went almost 30 minutes here. Thanks to Abe Jackson. When this ends, you can go back to the beginning. Abe Jackson, getting ready for the radio call, was my guest live to preview the game. So you can go back, listen to Abe at the beginning of the show as he gives you his keys to the game and helps get you set for this game. And come back after the game. As soon as the game is over, as soon as the game ends, just come back here to the social media channels, Bronco Nation News, wherever you're watching, and we'll have Coach Leon Rice and some players on live. So appreciate everybody for checking this out. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll do this every game, pregame and postgame. Tell your friends, BroncoNationNews.com. And if you're thinking about a subscription, hopefully this helps push you over the edge as we try to give you the best Boise State coverage we can. So enjoy the game, folks. ESPN Plus at the top of the hour. And we'll be back postgame with Leon Rice and players right here at BroncoNationNews.com.
Welcome back to the Blue, Albertson Stadium, home of your Boise State Broncos, the bastion of Bronco Nation, a field of dreams where greatness has become a tradition. Whether you're new to Idaho and this is your first game, or your family has had season tickets for 3 generations, Lithia Ford of Boise wants you to know you're welcome here.